It has been a wild year of rain, snow, and tornadoes for our area. KIMT Storm Team 3 meteorologist Sean McAday has a review of some of the major weather events of 2021.
It's been quite the month so far, but slick, snowy conditions and raging windstorms are only a piece of the crazy weather we've seen in southeast Minnesota and North Iowa this year. Here's a look back. We eased into winter in January with a mild start to the season, before a storm on the 15th brought up to 6 inches of fresh powder for some. But it was in February where Old Man Winter really kicked it up a notch.
Well, the first half was so mild, I didn't even think we would have snow for Christmas, but I've lived in the Midwest my whole life, and I know that a lot of times it's twice as bad the second half.
A storm on February 4th brought blizzard conditions to parts of North Iowa, as strong winds made for deep drifts and impassable roads. Behind the storm, an Arctic blast. We experienced the coldest air of the season as wind chills dropped below zero for an entire week. Setting records across the country, it wasn't enough to stop locals, though, from celebrating Rochester's Improv Ice days later.
I was just getting ready to put the plow truck away.
A final storm of the season, March 15th, reminded us all of where we lived. April 2021 brought dry conditions. It was the driest April going back 75 years when less than an inch of rain fell. Drought began to take hold across the area, and brush fires were numerous into May. This one near Rudd, Iowa on May 1st was particularly massive.
We need about an inch of water per week climatologically to hold things status quo. So we would like to see extended periods of wet, widespread rainfall.
That rain mostly didn't come, and dry conditions persisted, as the second hottest June on record worsened drought conditions to extreme levels. Crops began to suffer. Some communities issued water restrictions, and wildlife took advantage of any water it could. July brought tornadoes to Floyd County, Iowa, which was unfortunately only the start of a devastating severe weather season for them. Fairgoers were rushed to safety on the 14th as the siren sounded the alarm as a twister damaged some nearby farms.
Check out this. Now that is a clear funnel cloud.
Twisters continued here in August when a tornado struck Marble Rock on the 27th. Drenching rains from this storm brought about extreme flooding in nearby Howard County, where the town of Elma recorded over a foot of rain over 3 days.
But this time was the highest we've seen. We've never had to get up into the garage before.
The plus side of all this rain meant improvements to the drought conditions as we headed into the fall months of September and October. And while dry conditions did, yes, make the fall leaves less vibrant, a warm fall allowed for the colors to last into early November, several weeks longer than usual. Winter wouldn't greet us until December 10th, when a massive snowstorm dropped over a foot of snow in parts of southern Minnesota. Now, we all thought that snow might stay on the ground for good, but Mother Nature had other plans. Just 5 days later, all of it was gone, and the hottest December temps on record would make way for some of the craziest weather we've seen in years.
The tornado warning in effect for Floyd County.
This will be the first December tornado in Minnesota history.
There is going to be potential for some power outages.
We are looking at strong straight-line winds.
An intense windstorm, and what would later be dubbed a serial derecho, rolled across the upper Midwest. Hurricane-force wind gusts were numerous across the area, along with incredibly rare winter tornadoes.
I just kept holding the button, and next thing you know, there's no button there anymore to pull down.
Volunteer fighter Tyler Hicks kept the tornado siren on in Rudd, Iowa by hand as a tornado tore through the town center. A record was set as 30 local tornadoes touched down in our area, with 43 in Iowa, making it the state's most numerous outbreak ever.
Just glad that nobody got hurt, and I'll tell you something, it's really awesome to see everybody come together and help out a small town like this.
2021 was certainly a crazy year, and you know that Storm Team 3 will be here to keep you safe as we enter into 2022. KIMT Storm Team 3 meteorologist Sean McAday.
Definitely a year to remember. Well, here's a live look over Highway 52 in Rochester. Another look at our forecast is next.